Okay. Okay, before I invite up our keynote speaker, I want to announce a very exciting opportunity for all you out there wearing traditional dresses. We are having a fun and friendly traditional dress competition. We would love to see your beautiful garments, so go ahead and sign up for it outside by the entrance and you can enter in. We'll be posting it on the Facebook page and having people on DDTV's Facebook vote for the winner. The first place prize is a $100 Amazon gift card, and the second and third will get $50 Amazon gift cards. So don't miss out on the opportunity. We'd love to see your amazing outfits. Okay, so for our keynote speaker, I am honored to invite Dr. Xiaoyan Zhang, who is an entrepreneur, social scientist, and advocate for the AAPI community. He is also the former chairman and the current board director of UCA, United Chinese Americans. So please welcome Dr. Zhang.
Wow, what an exciting event. And we're celebrating Lunar New Year today. And of course, I just learned this morning, everyone, that White House actually this year, the first time in White House, they celebrate Lunar New Year. With Joe Biden, was in attendance. So that shows how important this Lunar New Year has become, right, in this country. And so today I want to just share about some of my thought about this. When I learned about the fact that California become the very first state, right, that makes the Lunar New Year the official state holiday. Actually, people working for the state government, I believe, can take a day off, right? Just a paid day off. We hope all the private industry also follow the trend. But the significance of this is really beyond just have a day off, right? And I remember growing up in China as a little boy. Lunar New Year, always something looking forward to. I think many people here will recognize that because that's the whole night, actually. You eat all kinds of food, but not only that, you stay for the whole night. We call it Xiaoyan, right? You basically do not sleep and you play all kinds of games and go to different families and pick up candies and everything else. It was memorable time, for everybody that, we grew up in that culture. And California also, many of you maybe already know, that if you look at 2020 census, what are 3 top ethnic groups in this state? Number 1 is Latino, 39%. Number 2 is non-Hispanic white, 34%. And Asian Americans, 15%. And the rest made up the 10% also left. That's a major change. That means this country, California as the first state, already moved into so-called the pluralistic society, truly, by definition, by population composition. So I think the governor was very, very forward-thinking and become a leader to recognize that fact and commit and made this Lunar New Year the official, the state holiday for this state. That's why we're so proud, actually. When Diana asked me to come here, I said, this is the first state we actually have this state holiday. We have to come to celebrate. And today we see so many people here. We're celebrating together. It's wonderful. And the other question, of course, is how we been accepted here? Of course, the governor says very clearly, diverse culture brings strength. Diversity is a strength for this country. This country made of immigrant. What makes this country great is the multicultural, all the brilliant people and come here to seek for their American dream. And this is what I want to share with you is a report study done by the Asian American Foundation. And I think many people may already know. They just a couple of years old, They have done this study, and this is how we feel we belong here. You can see here, only about 19% of Asian Americans between age 18 to 24 feels they belong and accepted. That's an alarming fact. Especially for young people in the schools, in other places, they still feel they've been treated as foreigners. They don't quite feel that belonging. But interestingly, a majority of Asian Americans, 73% of women and 67% of men, do not feel they belong and accepted. That's another major fact. I know we still have many first-generation Asian Americans here. So, but we also notice the sense of belonging and acceptance grows with age. When people getting more mature and getting older, they feel more, and stay here longer, they feel more. So I think, given that's the fact, I think the fact of California actually recognize this as a state holiday is a significant milestone. That shows how we're being accepted here, and so every year, we should celebrate this Lunar New Year as a tradition and culture. And I plan actually to work out a plan with all my children. They're now all grown and they go to different parts of the country, maybe get together just specially for this holiday so they can learn their tradition. And another thing we know, this is also from the same report from the Asian American Foundation. We found that how people get their news, how they've been influenced. And we noticed that for Asian Americans, family is their number one influencer. They got information from their family communications, like this kind of settings, and people are talking, friends talking. And then number two is social media. And the TV and music and movies actually number 5. That's very different in comparison to Black Americans, Latino American, and white Americans. They got theirs, and Latino also very much rely on social media. I want to share this information with everyone to let you know that it's important to recognize how social media becomes such a major and important communication means, tools, for and channels for our Asian American community. I think there's a reason for that, because social media, very often, they're using their own language, their own way of communicating in comparison to the mainstream media, right? So I think this is important to recognize. This is another reason why we have to congratulate Ding Ding TV for doing this kind of work, because culture-specific and relevant communication does carry its weight, but also carries credibility. So I just want to propose this. This is important for us to recognize. We should leverage the ethnic media, like we're doing here, to have effective communication, especially among the Asian American community. And we have to fight, of course, for justice and against Asian hate and racial discrimination. And this is an area also the ethnic media becomes such important, because they can carry the message, they can deliver the message so directly, so clearly, and to their target audience. And also, I think it's very important for us, especially for Asian Americans, especially first generation like myself, to really understand the identity. Who are we? Why we're here? I think what's great about this country, about America, is American identity is not of a history or culture or race or color of skin. It is an identity of a concept. We all agree on a fundamental basic concept, as all men are created equal, right? And we have inalienable right, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And we also have the privilege to live in this multicultural, multi-ethnic communities, and we're helping each other out, and we all come here pursue our American dream. That's why I think for the ethnic media to advocate for civic and political engagement is important. I've been advocating for that for many years. I feel now it's time as American become a pluralistic society. The fundamental interest for any minority community like Chinese American, Indian American, Asian Americans is your political representation and also your influence, your voice. And third thing is your government and public resource allocation, to you. So that's how we can really elevate ourselves in the political arena. And another thing is, I think data is a very powerful, as I already showed you some of the data. As I earlier mentioned, just look at population data, it's powerful. This country is changing, it's transforming. So we should all come together, embrace that, and use data and information as a power, to advocate for ourselves. And finally, I want to share a thought with you. We all came here for our private, personal, or family American dream. We all came here for that. But the Founding Father actually gave us two fundamental tools. One is, of course, the American spirit. That is, we all created equal, have inalienable right. At the same time, the Founding Father also were very smart and thought through the process and gave us a check and balance, right? Democratic systems. And I think the American spirit enabled all of us to pursue our American dream. I feel so fortunate to come to this country, get my Ph.D., and then start my own company. And today I'm working with the public, with my community to serve them. Feel very fortunate. That's because our individual American dream, because that American spirit, all men are created equal, gave us that opportunity. But at the same time, we should not forget, we should actually really appreciate the fact we have a democratic system that's transparent, with check and balance, okay? So the important thing is, but we have to participate in that. Because we have such a check and balance system, so even when we face major challenges, like a couple of years ago, like January 6th, right? We can still survive that and to make sure there's a peaceful transition of a power, right? From one government to the other, from one administration to the other. I think that is the fundamental. I believe, as long as we can have a peaceful evolution in this country, American will continue to be the leader in the world, and as American become a pluralistic society, I think the best thing we can do is to create a multi-ethnic democracy, and everybody sitting on the table, and together we can solve American problem. I think that's the future, that's the hope for this great country. And today, we're celebrating our diversity, we're celebrating Lunar New Year. I think that is a right step. That's a step to the right direction to this goal. And thank you very much.